Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you this cute little project. It's using the gorgeous new Pretty Peacock and the In Colour DSP. Look at that script, isn't it stunning? I love this, always have done anything like this, I do really like. This box I am calling Angelina's box. The very talented Angelina of Intertwine Designs came to our crafty day a little while back and bought a lot of her projects with her that she had made. This was one of them, and I saw it and I said, oh, that's really cute, I will have a go. And she'd made a bigger one, and I said, oh, I'm going to have a go at making a smaller one. And she said, I already have done. And I thought, well, of course, like any good crafter, you make several sizes of different boxes. So this was the box that she made. But if you can see, I altered mine slightly more again. So mine's slightly narrower and slightly taller. And I thought this would be perfect to use for a Father's Day gift. We have that coming up soon. And we always struggle, don't we? So I decided to go with this beautiful Pretty Peacock and create a slightly smaller, as I say, it is literally just a fraction smaller and a fraction taller little box. So I'll show you how to make it, and I am going to use Seaside Spray this time, so another new colour as well, which again is perfect for the males in our lives. Now, as per my last video, I still don't have the 12x12 cardstock, which is so frustrating. So instead I've made this using 2 pieces of A4. So we'll just have to run with it, but obviously I can show you how to make this with just 2 pieces of A4 as opposed to a sheet of 12x12. So we need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 9 1/4 by 6 inches, and that's 23.5 centimetres by 15.5. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same on both pieces. So on the short side, we're going to score at 2.5 and 5, and then we're going to rotate on the long side and we're going to score at 2.5, 6.5 and 8.5. okay, and that, so I'll do those measurements again, and this time I'll remember to do the centimetres. So 9 1/4 by 6, which is 23.5 by 15.5. On the short side we're scoring at 2.5 and 5, which is 6.5 and 13 centimetres. We're then going to rotate and we're going to score at 2.5, 6.5, 8.5, which in centimetres will be 6.5, 16.5 and 21.5. Okay, so once we've done that, bring our pieces back in, and you're going to still need your scoring tool and your ruler. So on the top here, on the square, so this long strip here is going to be your tabs, okay, same on both sides. So if you think that will be overlapped, and so that becomes your box, okay. It's quite a light colour, you can't really see that too well. So on this square here, so the one nearest your tab, we are going to mark the centre top. So at mine, mine's 2.5 wide, so I need to mark mine at 1 1/4. It's roughly around 3.2 centimetres thereabouts, so again you'll have to sort of gauge it when you make yours. And then from that score line we're simply going to go down, sorry, from that mark we're simply going to go down to bottom left and bottom right corner of the score lines that are there already. I just need to redo that one because that didn't press hard enough. There we go. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this side too. So mark 1 1/4, which again, as I say, is about 3.2 in centimetres. Okay, so once you've done all of that, let's fold and burnish all of these score lines. This is always the easier bit of any project. just fold and score. Don't forget that little one at the top. And don't worry too much about those angles that we've just done, because they will fall in themselves when we get to do the rest. Okay, so we're going to fold all these up. Okay, so then we're going to do some cutting, and again it's the same for all of them. So first thing we're going to do is cut up these bottom panels here, and then we're going to cut away this long one to the side, and then we're going to leave these two intact here, and then just cut away this top corner piece. And then the last bit, I have to check, I do apologise, because as I said, I always make these ahead of time and then I forget. Okay, so the one with the angled score lines, we're going to cut away the top panel, but we're going to leave it on the other one. Okay, so you're left with this. Okay, so I'm going to do the same again on the other one. So we're going to cut up for our bottom. Sorry for anybody's partners that have just walked in and heard me talking about bottoms. Cut that one away. Cut this little corner away. And then the top above the angles, we're going to cut that away too. Okay. So that's that part done. Get rid of my little bits of rubbish here. So next up we need to adhere these two pieces together. So we need to run either wet glue or tear and tape across this bottom part here. I really like this blue. I think it's a lovely, it's a lighter version of balmy blue. It's slightly darker for anybody that may remember Soft Sky that we had. I really like it. I think it's going to be really popular. Well, oh my goodness, all of the new in colours are, because they are all so pretty. Okay, so I'm just taking those off there. And then we just need to line these up. So I line up my score line, I line up my horizontal score lines, and then the rest should fall into place. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm going to add my panels. So I have used DSP and Whisper White for this one. I love the DSP on there, but it kind of got a little bit lost. So I figured if I backed it onto, oh heck, these aren't cut right, are they? If I backed it onto Whisper White, then it actually looks better. Now if these are all the same size, I'm going to have to, oh no, I've cut two wrong, so okay. Again, if I back them onto Whisper White, it kind of stands out a bit better, don't you think? So, right, let me get some snail. Pop this onto my Whisper White panel. And then snail these in place. So, my DSP is 3.5 by 2 inches, which is 9 by 5.5, and my Whisper White panels are 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. Yes, I've just cut those ones wrong. Silly me. So snail onto DSP, DSP onto panel, snail onto panel, panel onto box. Oh, my snail might run out too. I told you I'm having one of those. In fact, I told you on my last video, and because I do them all together, it is one of those days. Let me grab some Whisper White, and then I quickly, oh crumbs, this is where my tripod slides now. Right, quickly, what have we got here? 3 3¾ by 2¼ 3¾ by 2¼ Okay, let's try again. Right, let me get my trimmer to prop my tripod back in its place, so we don't want stuff sliding. Right, anyway, as I was, this is where my snail now runs out. So DSP on panels, use this sparingly now and see if we can just get it to do the last bit. Oh crumbs, come on snail, don't give in on me now. Last one, so we're just putting it across all these 4 central panels here. That's ridiculously not straight. Okay, that's better. And then add a bit more. Wow, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so those are my pretty panels in place. So now we just need to make this up. So we need some more tear and tape on the side of our box here. So same as the previous panel, just going to drop it all the way in. And then take this off. And then the last one. These are going to be such pretty boxes. I'm really quite pleased. Okay, so we'll fold this over. Should automatically all line up. So there we have it. So now we need to do the bottom, the base of the box, which obviously we don't have a back because we have two sides here. So it's a case of just going with whichever you feel is the prettiest. And then just pop those sides in, the back, and obviously your front one will go last. For ease, I'm going to use wet glue on this just to save time and effort. So I'm just going to stick a load of wet glue on that. Make sure it's all lined up. Okay, tip that upside down. I'm going to put my stamping spritz in there just to add a little bit of weight. And then what you then need to do is push here your sides, and you will see that those automatically then fold in. And to hold this in place, I've used a couple of Velcro dots. Those of you that recall my on-stage projects, my little tic-tac things, these are the same glue dots that I used then. Very, very sticky, but really strong and really good. So I'm going to pop one there, and then this one. I do like to try and get my Velcro the same way, but sometimes you forget. So fold that down, tuck that in, fold that across, and the good thing is that you've got just enough gap here to squeeze that Velcro in place. So that's my little pretty box, or Angelina's box should I say, just slightly taller. And I'm just going to take that out now. Just give it a little press round, take that out, put this back together. And then the last thing is to decorate the front. And as you can see, I've got some of these super pretty in colour faceted dots. So we're just going to pop a couple of those on the top here. So I went with the larger ones, I believe, just where those Velcro dots are. Aren't they beautiful? This seaside, look how pretty these colours are. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm actually going to keep this mistakenly cut piece of Whisper White because that's going to be perfect for this little bit here. And I'm using a Good Man, which again is such a stunning stamp set. I haven't used it on a card yet. I am intending to, I just haven't got there. But I'm just using this nice long sentiment here that is going to be heat embossed in white onto some soft seaside spray. I'll get there in a minute. So, quite a disgusting embossing buddy. I'm just going to give it a good wipe. Then I have some Versamark here with my stamp. Hopefully I've still got some cleaning left on my, yes I have, my Stamp and Scrub here. And then I've got my white embossing powder. Can you see my little orange dot? I am so chuffed. My gorgeous, gorgeous friend in Germany, Tina, saw how much of this powder I continually got on my fingers for scooping my spoon out. She sent me these, look, aren't they fabulous? They hold my spoon in place, so now I don't get embossing powder all over my fingers, and I can do my embossing. I then pop my spoon back in and hey presto, nice and tidy. Isn't she just such the best friend ever? Thank you so much, Tina. I do love them and they have saved me. Right, I just need to dig down here and get my whole heat tool out that I didn't get ready. So quick blast with my heat tool to just get this heated. It shouldn't take too long. There we go, it's starting to take. Obviously if you wanted to use a silver or a gold or any of our other colours, you could do. Pop that there. And then I just need now to get this the size that I want. So I'm going to trim it there. Oh crumbs, I'm going to have to bring this trimmer back. Okay, so clearly not very well prepared today, but we're okay. So my trimmer, I need to make sure that this is straight on my sentiment. So I'm lining some of the writing up with some of the bits under, oh heavens, with some of the lines underneath so that I get a straight cut, which clearly hasn't happened, but don't worry because I'm not worried about that bit. Then I go down the sides to get it nice and narrow, making sure I've got a similar gap either side. And then, so that is 3 centimetres, so I'm going to go with 3.5 for my Whisper White, because I only want a little bit of extra. Move that out of the way. You see that will sit nicely now with just that little border. And then I have my triple banner punch here, and I'm actually, it doesn't quite sit between the gaps, so again you're going to have to make sure that you get it fairly equal with where you want it, and then punch that one out. I'm really happy with that. And then actually what I did for this part, I snailed this on. Yes, thank you snail, I could kiss you because you've lasted. So I actually, oh that's not straight at all, is it, across the top? Let's just trim that. Far better. So put this, adhere this onto my Whisper White and then trim off the excess there, and then I'm going to pop this again into my trimmer, and if I go far enough down the seaside spray pops through. Well obviously I don't want to cut that short, so I'm kind of guesstimating, if you like, where I'm going to punch. And look at that. I'm literally, as you saw, I just dragged it up very gently through my punch and then punched it. So I actually now have this lovely banner at the bottom. That, oh, look at that. I still love you, snail, don't worry. And then I lined it up with the DSP, just making sure that it's equal at the sides. Pop that on. And then, as you can see on this one, I've just added a couple more of these beautiful faceted dots. So the medium and the small just at the tail end there. And there is my version of Angelina's box. I hope you like it. Hope to see you all again soon, and don't forget to get your in colours as soon as you can on the 4th of June. They are so pretty. See you all soon. Bye.